Good evening, everyone. Today is the 11th day of Words of Wisdom series, and today's topic is the perks of PWA. And today's uh, speaker is Varsha Jaiswal. Little intro about her. So, she is organizer of GDG Jalandhar. She is also an ambassador at Women Tech Makers Jalandhar, and she is currently working as software engineer at EDFORA. So, this session will be continued by her. So, over to you, ma'am.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for the nice introduction, and thanks to the whole team for organizing this wonderful event and inviting me to just share my experience and learnings with PWA. So, yes, a very good evening to one and all present here, and I hope that you all are doing good and being safe in this pandemic season and might be enjoying these wedding seasons too. But yes, along with enjoyment, do take care of yourself. Before introducing myself, yes, I just want to know that how are you feeling now, and maybe you can share your answers in the chat section. I would love to read that. I'm Varsha Jaiswal, the organizer and ambassador of GDGWTM Jalandhar, working as a software engineer in an edtech company and following my passion to meet new people, maybe it may be virtual this time, and share my learnings as much as possible. Today, I'll be talking about progressive web applications and how to build the same. I'll also take you through various perks of PWA, that why we should use it, we should be using this, and how we can implement the same. What are the benefits? What is the status of PWA now in the world right now? So let's keep this conversation going, and let's not keep this one way. So I'll just start. Before starting my talk on PWA, I will be talking about few things, that why PWA came in picture, how it helped the developers out there. So, talking about Google Maps experience, like live panning and zooming the streets and views, how many of you use this application in your mobile browser? By this, I mean that you just opened your mobile browser, be it Chrome, be it Mozilla, or be it even UC browser, and searched for maps.google.com and then search for any address. Okay, but I know that in many of case we never use this. But yeah, when it comes to desktop, we use it often. We don't opt to install Google Maps in our desktop. Rather, we just visit the website and check out that, okay, I need to go to this place, and this is the direction, or this is the way to reach, right? But based on the research and surveys, we used to have desktop users more than mobile. But now the story has been flipped. It's not the same way as it used to be. There is a drastic rise in the numbers of mobile users. And as you all can see from the graph, it shows clearly. I can take the example of today's sessions also. I can surely say that most of you are viewing this session from your mobile device. Just open your YouTube, it's handy, and maybe you are enjoying this comfy, this weather under your blanket and this session. It can be possible, right? Or is it like that you have opened it on your laptop and check out, like viewing this session on your desktop? Also, the research shows that in mobile, users spends most of their time in native applications rather than the website. We often install application, like maybe I can take the example of Instagram. We often install Instagram to use and scroll the reels and news feed out there, rather than going out in the browser and opening Instagram.com. Only 13% of users mobile time is on mobile web. It might be just surfing for a small data, or just checking out those websites which we rarely visit. And 87% of people spend their time in native applications. The reason behind this is pretty simple. Apps are more predictable, and they have some great re-engagement features. Be it like they can be on your home screen, which makes us easy to get back to that particular application. They can send push notifications that bring users back even when the app is closed. So this slide, I like with this slide, maybe it might seem that I'm just telling you that, hey, just cut out this presentation and let's just stick on one thing, that build native apps, because people spend more time on native application. But it's not like that. There is a flip side to this, and it is like app usage is highly concentrated. Users tend to usually have very few applications, leading to a winner take all situation. It can be a simple example that if you are spending more time on Instagram, you will have that Instagram installed in your application, in your phone. But if you rarely visit Facebook, you'll be like, okay, I'll check this out. Why to invest like MBs of storage and data, like storing capacity in my phone to install that one particular application, that is Facebook, along with that Messenger. So it's like users see native applications as a big commitment when it comes to in space, time, or cost. Native apps may be engaging, but only a few are worth installing. If you will just check out your phone, it's more like that. Okay, you have those applications installed, like you have installed those applications by your own. Only those are only those which you use the most. It is not like that. Okay, you are not at all a news reader, but you genuinely went to Play Store or App Store and installed various news applications. It's not like that. And why I am saying this is because the average user is installing 0 applications per month. By contrast, from our own data, mobile users visit over 100 websites per month. Now, the question will be, okay, I am just contradicting my points that 13% users visit the mobile web and 87% stick to the application. But here it is like people are not installing application but visiting 100 plus websites per month. The reason behind this is pretty simple. It is the power of URLs and the reach of the web. I still refuse to load Facebook Messenger on my phones. I just for a few times, because I actually don't need them. It's like, okay, I'll just check out in browser that what's it's going. Okay, who has uploaded some pictures or what is going on in my Facebook feed. So, yes, one way to think of the difference between native and web application is the capability access. Native applications start up quickly and reliable when you tap on their icon, but also they tend to work offline. They can work offline. They'll never show you that, okay, you have not switched on your internet, so you cannot open WhatsApp in your mobile application, right? They can send push notifications and sync up in the background. You really don't need to, if you have set it once, you really don't need to wake up at particular time and back up your WhatsApp chats every day. If you have set it that, okay, at this time, even if your WhatsApp is closed, the chats will be backed up at that particular time. The only need is internet should be there. But by contrast, web is safer and more respectful to privacy, but they does not have these capabilities of acting like a native application, that is maybe using your camera, using microphone sensors and various capabilities which a native application can do. So what if we'll add the capabilities of mobile application in our websites or in our web applications? We could use the best of the world, both worlds. We can have the reach of the URL of the web and the capabilities of using those native sensors and all in our application. And that's what PWA represent. A user experience good enough, integrated enough to earn a place in your home screen, and also sends you the push notification to re-engage with your users all the time. um, but yes, now you might be thinking that, do we need to start with mobile app development? Should I just stop viewing this, what is going on this live session, and just check out the videos that how to start with mobile app development, because that is more useful when it comes to engage with users? The answer to this is no. Web developers can build, It's not like that web developers can only build websites or web applications. You can, with PWA, we can add the features of various things in our website, which will give us the authority to just land up on the home screen of the users. So yes, PWA can give you the user experience that have the reach of the web plus the capability of mobile applications, which I just said earlier. But yes, what actually PWA is? We just talked about so much that okay, I am clear that why PWA is needed, but what it is. So yes, it is a new technology, or it combines new technology with established best practices for creating reliable, accessible, and engaging experiences for the users. It also helps you to opt in various flows, like it also it is very user friendly, that will help you that okay, it will give you a pop-up when you'll be visiting that website that do you want to add this in your home screen. So user can just select it and it will be automatically installed in your phone, in the user's phone. What I mean by reliable is it will load instantly and the user will never wait that okay, now it will be loaded. Along with that, it will never show you this cute little dinosaur. Seeing this picture, this always make me think or make me recall those memories of past days when we used to think, when we don't used to answer the phone call because that will make us to go offline. We used to make sure that if I'm using Chrome, or maybe we can take the example of if you are opening Chrome browser in your phone or even in your laptop, knowing that your internet is not on, do you really search anything? The answer is no. We have always become like, we always make sure that we are online. If I am searching like okay, hack with cw.tech, I am making sure that the net is on and I am able to search it. Then only I'll be searching. Knowing that mobile data is off or Wi-Fi is off, I'll not be searching that, right? But mobile application never shows this, guys. So yes, reliability means that never showing this dinosaur. That is never showing that yes, internet is not there. If the user is opening the application, it should be showing the data, whatever is present. So if you'll take the example of any mobile application, they never show you. It might be the case that okay, they'll just load the data which was present from the past, not the updated one, but yes, they'll not show you that you cannot see anything or you cannot surf anything. Second is fast. It is responding quickly to users' engagement or users' interaction with smooth animations and no janky scrolling. In simple line I can say is user should not wait for more time to access or to view anything. We all know that this time or in this world, time is money. No one, and the data from SOTSA shows that how much that's true, that after only a little more than 3 seconds, 20% of user abandon the experience. They never visit the website again. Other studies shows even worse results, that 53% of users abandon sites that take longer than 3 seconds to load. So suppose if you are designing a simple web application, you don't want your users to just go back and never come again just because the website is not faster enough or the web application is not faster to load and to show data. So yes, PWA helps your application to be faster. Third is engagement. This is, I'll say that this is one of the most important thing. And why is it so? Because if a user has installed, let's say if you have installed WhatsApp in your phone and if no one is messaging you, if you are not texting anyone, there is no engagement, right? There is no, and eventually there is no use of that application also. PWA are installable and live on the user's home screen. And for this, you really don't need to deploy your application on any Play Store or App Store or anywhere. It's just with the simple click on the browser and it will be installed on the user's phone. While mobile push notifications have existed for a while, I am really excited that we finally have access to them as web developers also. As a mobile developer, it is something very useful that yes, we can send a notification and that will help that user to click on that notification and re-engage with the application. But we can do so with the help of PWA also. We can re-engage with our users by sending push notifications out there. And along with that, I'll just take you with the example on the like size, that how size matters is reaching a broad set of users is important for Twitter, including those in emerging markets where lower downloaded speeds and less powerful mobile devices are common. Twitter Lite helps reach this audience more effectively by making Twitter faster and easier to use in a low bandwidth conditions. As you can see in the graph here, Twitter Lite is only 600 KB versus 23.5 MB of downloaded data needed to install the native Android application, or 214 MB of size in the iOS devices. So, and how like, okay, now we know that PWA, this is very light in case of like storage also. Along with that, for Twitter, who measures the success in the number of tweets and pages per session, their PWA has been a flyaway success, with a 75% increase in the tweets sent and 65% increase in pages per session. I'll also like to tell you that yes, today Twitter Lite has more active users than any other Twitter client, be it Android or iOS. So now we know that okay, how PWA is helping us, or like we can have reliability. We can assure that yes, it will be faster and it will help us to engage with our users. So the answer is pretty simple. That yes, why PWA is, it is worthy of being on an app home screen so that user can use it or reuse it later also. It works reliability. It will not. It does not depend that what's your network condition. Even if your network is off, it will not show that dinosaur, and it will show you some data. Third is increased engagement, maybe via using push notifications or various other features by PWA. So now we have talked much and much about that. What is the benefit of using having a PWA and something? The question as a developer in our mind arises that how this works, how actually PWA works. That is okay, if my application is a progressive web application, it is loading fastly, or it is able to get onto the home screen. So it is pretty simple. There is a service worker file which is actually a piece of code in JavaScript, and which connects as the bridge between the web server and the applications. It helps the application to save data into the cache, that is into the mobile cache, and load the data from cache later on. I'll talk more or in detail about this in the upcoming slides. So yes, this is the flow of the service worker, I'll say. So suppose if you'll open any website, let it be any website. I'll take the example of, let's say, gdgjalandhar.com. Service worker will check that okay, if there is no service worker present in the cache, it will install the same, and then service worker will get activated. Yes, there can be case of error too due to any other issues. Once it will get activated, it will just like start fetching or taking the messages from cache and loading the data, right? So how you can build it? We know that we can use this, or PWA works with the help of service worker. How we can make build a progressive web application? So yes, for this you just need to follow two steps. That is having a manifest file and a service worker file, where the manifest file is a simple JSON file to which gives you the how your application will look, what will be the theme, what will be the color, or what will be the icon of your application, the background, and all other things, and service worker will just take care of that, how the thread, or like taking care of like network requests and caching of the data and retrieving resources or data from cache and sending it to the user's layout. Also, it takes care of delivering the push notifications. So yes, first is web app manifest file. Here, using this JSON file, you can tell the browser that you want your app to open on which window, like what should be the display. It should be portrait, landscape. You can also take care of that once the user is clicking on that icon after installing the application, which should be the home page, which should be the URL the user should be viewing for the first time, or during this start. You can also mention that what should be the short name, what should be the icon, and various other things like orientation and all. If you'll see in this example, it is written that okay, the short name of this application will be wash post, which will be visible below this icon. Icon will be this, which will be the type of this and sizes and src and all. You can also refine a splash screen launch experience for the site. That is, when the user will be clicking on that icon, what will be the splash screen? And on that screen, what will be the name of the application? What will be the icons? And what is the background color? As in this example, it is black. Okay. Third is, what is the start URL? It can be also index.html. It can be any other web page or any other HTML page of your particular website. What should be the display and the orientation, portrait, landscape, or anything. You can also control whether you show the URL bar to the user or it should be full screen. Along with that, as we finally on Android, progressive web apps behave like other native applications. As you'll just see that, okay, which all applications are open, you can see that, okay, WhatsApp is in green, YouTube is in red, be it calendar is in blue color. Similarly, here you can also define theme color that can be of any color. In this case, it's black. Okay. Second, as I spoke, is service worker, which is basically a JavaScript file. And that runs separately from the main browser thread and just taking care of all those things. So how actually service worker works is, I'll try to explain this with this graph. So first time you are loading any website, let it be, okay, gdgjalandhar.com. So service worker will just get installed in your browser or will just get installed in your application wherever you are using. And it will check that, okay, network is present or not. If yes, it will store the data. It will just send a request to the network to get the data stored in cache. And parallelly, the service worker will get activated in your device. What if, so now first time you have loaded the website and service worker is installed and activated and the data is in cache. So now if second time you are again visiting that website, let's say gdgjalandhar.com, so service work, the page will, gdgjalandhar.com, the page will just check that whether service worker is present or not. Will send the request to service worker, and then service worker will parallelly check what service worker will do. It will send the request to cache to show the data from cache on the page, and parallelly it will check that, okay, network is present or not. If yes, it will just load the data, the updated information from network. If the network is present, it will just load the updated information in the cache, and again, the updated data will be visible on the user's UI. What if the internet is not present? The flow will be similar and same. Just service worker will check that network is present or not. If not, it will just load the data which is there in the cache as of now, and it will show that data to the user. It works similarly. Like if you'll take the example of WhatsApp, suppose your internet is off and you have received messages from 10 people, you'll see the messages from those 10 people only. Now, if you will switch on the internet maybe anytime, you don't need to open WhatsApp and like reload it that so that the new messages will come. No, you just need to switch on the internet, even if the WhatsApp is closed, the data will be loaded, right? So something like this. So this is the simple way, or this is the flow when there is no internet. The page will send the request to service worker, and service worker will load the data from cache on the page, and user will not face that okay, there is no internet connection, and will never see that dinosaur on your web application. But yes, along with this, now we can have our PWA for desktop also. It's not that only in your phone you can open jdgjalandhar.com and you can install it. You can do the same from your Chrome browser also. So maybe the example is Twitter again. There is a Twitter for desktop is present. You just need to open Twitter and then you can install it by clicking on the plus icon at the right side. Now, we have talked much about how we can build a PWA, why PWA, and what is the use of what are the various benefits of PWA. This might be the question, or when you think about proposing a path to PWA, there are three approaches which you can follow to have your application as a PWA. First is building from the ground up, then starting with a simple version, or focusing on a single feature. Each of these makes sense for different scenarios. I'm not saying that, okay, out of these three, going with a simple version is better. It is based on your scenario, or what your web application looks like, or what's your application demand is. So moving ahead, starting from the ground up makes the most sense when your site is about to go with a redesign, or if you are starting from scratch anyway. It makes sense to build in PWA from the beginning. This approach enables you to more easily build the app shell pattern and take advantage of almost all the parts of service workers, because yes, you are starting from the scratch and you can use all other features and advantages which are present. Talking about this, I'll take the example of OLX, which is one of the largest online destinations for classified ads in India. And they looked to PWA technologies to provide a faster loading and immersive and app-like experiences. After launching their PWA, the time until the page becomes interactive fell by 23%, and within a corresponding 80% drops in bounce rate. So that is really amazing, right? Along with that, OLX also wanted to re-engage with the mobile web users, and just as they would their mobile application users. So they meant taking advantages of re-engagement features or capabilities like push notifications and add to home screen prompt. These two updates increased engagement by 250%, and monetization also improved with ads loading faster. The click through rate has increased by 146%. So it is really amazing, right? The website or the web app, which was really loading very less, or people were not using as much as the mobile app users, it increased a lot or by multifold, as you can see in the numbers, that yes, PWA helped them in one or another manner. Second, but yes, of course, not everyone can take this path of building the application from scratch, because that is not even realistic if your application is big or huge, or having multiple functionalities, right? So the second approach is to build a simple version of the site. I can say the mobile or the light version, and to choose the optimize. You just have to choose to optimize around a specific section of your website of user journey, like whatever, like let's say your website is something with almost 10 plus features, and there are 2 3 features which user is using a lot, or which is having the most of the engagement. So maybe we can have a simple version of that. An example to this approach is Air Berlin. Their schedule and demands did not make it possible to do a full site PWA. So they focused on post booking experience. So once the user has booked a flight, They wanted to deliver a fast, engaging, and above all, reliable experience. That is, just you need to tap and the data is on the screen. So their user journey is one we all probably familiar with. When you are at an airport and you want quick access to your itinerary details, maybe destination information, or above all, your boarding pass, you just need Air Berlin wrote a PWA focusing on that user journey, which you just need to like to make a super fast and reliable application, and their PWA has load times of under a second. Isn't it amazing that the website you are clicking and it is getting loaded in a second or even less than that, and under a second to your boarding pass from the time you tap their icon on the home screen to when you got your boarding pass up. After a passenger has checked in, they now have access to their journey details and boarding pass instantly. And now you can surf or you can check out each and everything even if you don't have those internet connections. You just need to tap on the icon, get your boarding details, and then you don't really need those internet, and you'll be able to just surf those things, right? So this is use taking care of like one single simple version of your website. The final strategy is to define a simple specific feature to focus on. Just pick one feature, as I said that yes, in website it's not like that there might be 10, 15 multiple features right there. So just pick one feature where you can have a high impact and focus on that. This is frequently the approach needed at large companies where you may not have the backing of starting from scratch, or you cannot even build a simple version of your whole application. The example for this is the weather company. The weather company team has been interested in PWA technologies, and then they just thought that okay, which feature we should be taking up. So they decided the most impactful feature for weather.com was notifications. So they decided to focus on single feature that with the web push notifications, and they went big. They just rolled out notifications globally in over 60 plus languages. Users on their mobile web app can subscribe to multiple type of notifications just like their native application. This success set them to start their journey and building up a full progressive web application. And how it went big in the first 3 months of rolling up web push notification, Weather saw a million opt-ins of this single feature. Web push notifications allowed Weather to reach a whole new audience with the same set of notifications as there was in native application users. CS, which approach will you take? What should be the right approach? What is not the right approach? But when you think about proposing a path, it's not like that, okay, I am feeling like I should be using all the features of service workers, so let's start with ground up. No, it should be that which is better, which makes sense, and which will be useful for you, your company, and the users. And when you'll find the answer of this, definitely you'll have the answer that which approach you need to follow to get your application into a PWA. So yes, it's a PWA time in all across the world. Most of the companies are using it. Speaking of, we have an excited to see incredible momentum of progressive web apps across the globe. Large travel companies that Vego, Expedia, and Trivago have rolled out their successful PWAs. Publishers like Info and Forbes have launched their PWA. And since the launch of PWA, Forbes has seen user engagement double since the launch. E-commerce sites like Fandango, Alibaba, Flipkart have all invested in PWAs. You can have Flipkart installed in your phone from just search for flipkart.com, click on that three buttons at the right top corner. You will see add to desktop, and then or add to home screen, and that will be added on your home screen, and you can serve Flipkart from that particular application. You really don't need to visit any app store to get that installed. And even new services like, as we all know, that Ola, which is one of the largest ride sharing service in India, they also launched their PWA. See, yes, this is just a sample of folks who are shipping or actively working on PWAs, and it's much more than now. I'll say honestly, this map is not updated, so maybe various companies have been added up in this slide also. So, yes, every one of these early adopters has had their own path of how they're investing in mobile application and starting down their path with PWA. I know you all need to learn, and we all need to learn. So yes, if you want a learning resources, you can check out Google Developers Code Labs. You just need to search. Maybe you will get the links easily. You can search, check out it on Chrome Developers YouTube channel. Google Developers PWA Docs is also there, and there is a blog written by one of the person who has really worked a lot in PWA. So yes, you can check out the blog on codinggurukul.page.link/PWA. If you have any questions or any queries, maybe you can ask in chat section, or you can head up to Twitter, and there we can have like, you can just tag me, that is underscore Varsha Jaiswal underscore, and I would love to answer you. With that, thank you so much. Have a great day ahead, and I hope that you enjoyed. Keep learning and keep be safe. Bye. Take care.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for this wonderful session. And guys, if you have any doubt, you can you can write it in the chat box, or else you can connect directly with the speaker. And we have some moderators. They will share the link in the chat box. Please attend the quiz for the certificate, and please share your feedback about this session, so we can share it with our speaker as well. So thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, team, and bye.